the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be travelling with my flatmate Chris through China, Tibet and Nepal, with the highlight of reaching Mt Everest base camp.
No tourist section. We're now going to do something that no one's ever done before.
Yeah, definitely not that woman.
No. About to do Forbidden City. I think we're going to have it all to ourselves. So this is Kathmandu.
So exotic.
Yeah, buddy?
You alright? There's nothing between you and all that amazing view.
We're about to get a train to Tibet. It's going to take 46 hours. It's like the same distance as getting a train from New York to LA. When we're in Tibet, we're not allowed to film any of the police cars or tanks or military buildings there. So it's going to be interesting to see what version of Tibet we can actually show.
One of my biggest fears for this trip was altitude sickness. We're going to be going up over 5,000 meters.
That was bloody tiring walking up from the bus to here.
Where's Chris?
And Chris has suffered really badly from it. We had to take him to the hospital. He was in that bad a condition. The main thing we need to do is get him to lower altitude. But what that means is maybe missing Mt Everest.
I think for me, Karl's trip last year, where he went everywhere around the world, as much as it was really appealing to me, it wasn't exactly what I wanted at that time. But when he came back and he talked about how great a time he'd had, and then continued to talk about how great a time he'd had, and continued to promote the videos about how great a time he had, eventually you think, okay, well maybe I could go on a trip that's similar.
The genesis of this trip was to try and do the biggest adventure possible within the confines of annual leave. So we got 3 weeks off work, and after last year I wanted to go somewhere truly spectacular that I didn't go to. One of the first places I thought was the Himalayas.
And I don't know when it was, but when you said, oh yeah, well I want to go to China and do the Great Wall, and I went again on a train, getting across to places like the Himalayas and doing things that weren't actually backpackery but more expedition-y, I thought, okay, this is more of an adventure that I can actually do around other things.
G Adventures, who I used in Peru last year, who were amazing, they had this perfect trip that goes through Tibet and Nepal with a bit in Beijing at the start. So we got 2 weeks with them, and then we got a week on our own just doing what we want in Nepal.
Our journey begins in Beijing, where we'll visit the Great Wall of China before taking a 2-day non-stop train journey to Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. This is the highest railway in the world, and we'll have a few days to acclimatise in the capital. Then we'll be travelling by bus through the Himalayas, gradually working our way towards Mt Everest base camp. Our G Adventures package ends in Kathmandu, and then Chris and I will have an extra action-packed week in the beautiful country of Nepal.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be freaking awesome.
We're getting to do something that I think a lot of people won't get to do.
Mount Everest base camp, but Mount Everest, we're gonna conquer Everest. We're going to be like 5,500 meters up with a massive headache from altitude sickness.
The idea of going to Everest just blew my mind, so that's very high up on the list of things to do in my life, and I didn't even realise it, so that's what got me on board.
Our trip nearly got off to a terrible start because we were so busy filming this at the bar that we nearly missed our flight and had to run all the way across Heathrow to our gate.
Nearly missed the flight because we were filming.
Good run? Yeah, that was fun. Good start. Good practice for Everest. Pretty high altitude at the airport. Yeah, but I'm in peak physical condition, as you can tell by the amount of sweat that's gushing off my face. Ta-da!
We had an overnight flight to Beijing, and as soon as we landed, we dumped our bags at the hostel and began exploring the city.
G Adventures describes us going from Beijing to Tibet as travelling back in time through China. But one thing we will know is here we're probably one of the most polluted places in the world, and we're going to some of the most fresh air in the world.
It's quiet and kind of eerie.
Everyone's got their masks on, which they do all around Asia. It feels a bit dirty.
And it's warm. It's warmer than you think.
Yeah. It seems quite somber as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen many people cracking wise yet.
These guys are laughing. Go ask them what they're laughing at. Random shit in the park. It's an Asian flash mob. I think this lady in the front's leading.
As the day progressed, we tried to get away from the modern part of Beijing to find the hutongs.
Hutong is?
It's what I would say is a preserved area of the sort of old Peking, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's just a sort of, it's an old style street.
Yeah.
And you can get anything. It might be picturesque, might be horrible, like the ones we found yesterday. This looks good. Have you looked at its face, for example?
You want to buy that and take it back on the plane? Put it on the train.
What are you eating, Karl?
Fried chicken with cheese in. And I've got this strange, bizarre drink that I can't read the writing, but it is delicious.
Aha, a joke.
It's just a different way of life out here, man. We're just out there.
In the evening, we checked out the night market, which had, let's just say, a wider selection of food to eat.
Not tempted?
No, thanks. I've had a big dinner.
A big chicken. It's probably the weirdest selection of food I've ever seen. Snakes, starfish, scorpions, centipedes, and weird bat things. It's weird when you still see his head and everything. Pure overload on the senses. The colours, the smells, the random food they're eating.
After exploring the town, we moved from our hostel to our prepaid hotel.
Sorry, because I'm the where's best? You can see it, right?
We just checked in our hotel. Now, it's a bit of a racial stereotype to say people in Asia are shorter than us, but I have noticed a couple of things. One is how low the toilets are, which I'm not going to show you, but two is how low the ceiling is in our hotel.
In the morning, our G-Adventures group headed 50 miles northeast of the city to the first stop of our tour, the Great Wall of China.
Alright, Great Wall of China. Could not have picked a better day to do it. The smog is cleared. Plus, we can always get lunch at Subway. So we got everything we want.
I am excited. I am genuinely excited. I guess I ordered this weather. I was only saying yesterday that all the photos we've ever seen of the Great Wall by friends of ours, they've always been a bit overcast, maybe grey.
Yep.
But we're not going to have that problem.
Run, Chris, run! Very, very impressed. It's spectacular. I think often when you come to sort of bucket list place like this, sometimes it can be a bit underwhelming because of the high expectation, but first impression is I love it.
Just look at the view.
Yeah.
The first parts of the Great Wall were built as early as the 7th century BC. However, it was during the Ming Dynasty in the 14th century AD that the wall we recognise today was constructed. Its primary function was to protect China from the Mongolian tribes attacking from the north.
I sort of get it now. I mean, if I were an army, I probably wouldn't want to climb that wall.
Just fly over, right?
They all had dragons back then.
The entire wall stretches for over 13,000 miles. It's often said that the wall is visible from space, but this is in fact complete bollocks.
Beijing in the distance over there. Chris, the cannon here, it's kind of aimed at the wall.
I'm not sure what kind of range that thing has on it, but
I reckon it's 150 meters. That's
what gives you that idea?
Just you know, maths. I reckon you can load it with like 2 kilograms worth of explosive, Chris.
You reckon?
Yeah. It tilts up at an angle of 30 degrees.
What I love about travelling with you, Karl, is that you know all this stuff.
I know.
It's just in your head already. And it's really
I'm a fountain of knowledge.
Wait.
We only had a couple of hours here, so we wanted to see how far along the wall we could get.
All right, we got 40 minutes to try and reach the top. Let's move that way.
Faster. Come on, let's do it. Let's go.
That is a lot of stairs.
Come on, Karl. I've run all the way here. How'd you get in front of me?
So I'm super fast. You're getting near the top, and then the last bit, it's even steeper. See you, Chris. It's no tourist section. We're now going to do something that no one's ever done before.
Yeah, definitely not that woman.
No. So, Great Wall of China, your thoughts?
It's great. No, it is great. It really is. And it's nice to have got this far where you get away from the tourists a bit. It starts feeling that much lonelier. Really quite.
It's a more authentic experience. Well, this is cool. We've gone past the danger no visitors sign. This is like a non-maintained bit of the wall. It's quite cool.
It's much better.
Hasn't been restored.
No, it's definitely not meant to be here either.
Yeah. Breaking the law. End of the line.
Well, it's the end of our line. We're not going any further.
Having a beer on the Great Wall of China.
Cheers. It's cold as well.
Yeah, it's a cold beer. No better way to get back down from the Great Wall of China than on a toboggan.
Toboggan.
Which is the way they did it when they built the wall, so...
Yeah, absolutely. It's an authentic experience.
Yeah. We've got a traffic jam. What? We got a traffic jam. We ain't gonna make it to the end going this slow. Wow, what an adrenaline rush. Oh, I'm shaking.
I hate small children.
There's no better way to finish the Great Wall of China experience than having a subway.
The following day back in Beijing, we had a guided tour around the Forbidden City.
About to do Forbidden City, I think we're going to have it all to ourselves.
It's not really even us.
Have our tickets, finally going to enter the Forbidden City. Nearly there.
Gate.
This is a gate.
Forbidden City.
That
way.
The Forbidden City was built in the early 1400s and was the Chinese imperial palace. Home to 24 different emperors, it remained the political centre of China until 1912 with the abdication of the last emperor of China. Of course, we didn't learn any of this on the tour because there were so many different tour groups there, we couldn't hear a word our guide was saying.
And already 600 years old, waiting for the Ming and the Qing dynasty. And the first emperor is Zhu Di, living inside this palace. And the first emperor, his name is Zhu Yuanzhang, from 1300. That was 25 and the son. Since in ancient times, they run the country according to feudal system.
Because of China's booming economy, these popular landmarks are now swarming with Chinese tourists who can now afford to travel.
This is the Emperor's room? Something? I don't know.
We don't know.
We'll fit
it's
in.
dusty though.
Yeah. We're going to push our way through. Let's have a look inside.
Because we're Western, don't you know?
Yes. It's really underwhelming. It was like going through a mosh pit to see an empty room. Brilliant.
Once we made it into the Imperial Garden, there was a group of schoolgirls who for some reason all wanted their photo with me.
Oh, I didn't get anything. Sorry.
Bye.
That was weird.
That was weird. They wanted to photo
Explain what happened there, Carl.
I think they... I don't know.
I'm freaked out. Look at them. I know.
They dropped their water as well. I don't know.
You're a freaking rock star.
I know, they probably think that. How disappointing they'll be when they Google it and have nobody.
Delete.
Yeah. Ah, it's nobody. Delete.
Okay, so what we've learned here is that this mountain here was sort of like a commission really by the only empress who ruled China for 48 years, the Dragon Lady. And she ordered it to be made because there's an amazing view from the top. But yeah, you also, if you're a eunuch, you come here and you worship the moon. That's something else you do.
You're a eunuch.
Okay. Look at it.
Just had another, it was a woman this time asked for a photo. Older, a bit too old really, but better than being too young.
I don't think she was that old, to be honest.
Anyway, who asked you for a photo, Chris?
Shut up.
I'll give you a clue, he had a penis. Finally out of the Forbidden City. Oh my god.
We made it, Chris. We made it.
Over.
We're finally free.
Right?
Hey, we're here with the guys. Hey.
What can I say?
The majority of the group decided to recuperate in a restaurant, having some delicious Peking duck before this evening when we board the 2-day train to Tibet. We'd had a briefing 2 days ago about how to behave in Tibet because we're essentially entering occupied territory. In 1950, the People's Republic of China invaded Tibet to unite the region with the rest of China. According to the Chinese government, they were liberating Tibet. However, the Dalai Lama claims 1.2 million people have been killed under the Chinese rule, and approximately 6,000 monasteries were destroyed during the Cultural Revolution. The Free Tibetan movement spiked in 2008, with protest riots that led to the government imposing curfews and temporarily banning foreign media from entering the region.
We had our briefing about it a couple of days ago, and our guide said when we're in Tibet we're not allowed to ask him any political questions about the situation in Tibet at all, except for specific moments when he says we can, because if we're out in restaurants people might overhear our conversation.
On the bus there's a camera.
On the bus there's a camera, and we'll also have a police presence on the bus the entire time. So we watch the entire time.
I'm kind of thinking the same way as you. It's a bit odd to think that there's a police guy there literally waiting for us to slip up, which is kind of strange.
We're not allowed to film any of the police cars or tanks. Apparently there's going to be tanks or military buildings there. So it's going to be interesting to see what version of Tibet we can actually show.
Just being aware of everything you say is going to be a bit strange, especially for someone like Karl who shoots his mouth off at literally every opportunity. So I don't know. It will be a concern, I guess.
We might get in a bit of trouble. We might not. The worst comes to it, they'll just say get the fuck out of our country. But our guide could get in serious trouble, and so could G Adventures.
Can't help but feel a little bit paranoid about it, but you know, that's just that's the price of going to Tibet. So yeah, whatever, we'll do it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Another thing to note. This is what came under our door in our hotel room last night. just some hooker cards. Yeah, just slipped under the door. There was one each. But yeah, stay classy, Beijing. We're about to get the train. To give you a sense of scale, we're traveling from Beijing to Lhasa. It's like the same distance as getting a train from New York to LA. It's going to take 46 hours. So this is going to be probably the longest singular journey I'll ever do in my life. It's way longer than anything I did last year on the trip. The reason why I really am excited about it is because I'm a sort of closet train nerd, and I think I have been all my life. So this is a rather exciting thing. We got to talk to the driver a second ago. That was actually quite scary. Dog is not! Hello!
He sounded angry, but he's smiling.
The train's going to go over 5,000 meters high and then down to Lhasa. See? Follow the camera. Right, there we go. And apparently once we get above 3,500 meters, they're going to pump oxygen in to help us breathe. So that's cool.
You should see, come this way, let's see if we can show you any of the cabins. Not that one.
This right here is our room. Right there. That's us. That's our room for the next 2 nights.
Wave.
Wave.
We do know them.
Yeah. During this guy will wave. Bye-bye.
Did he wave?
The random civilians did. But, everyone excited? Let's see how you are in 5 minutes.
5 hours.
Morning, Chris.
Morning, Karl.
How was first night?
It was alright at parts. I had to kick a Chinese guy a few times to stop him from snoring, which was funny too. I sort of kicked him and then hid back under the covers to see him, and he never seemed to realise it was me. He's got off now, so that's quite good.
I actually slept very well. I probably looked very tired, but I looked very tired, but I actually slept very well. Once I fell asleep, took a bit of time, but then I was out like a light.
The view out of the window was mostly desert, interrupted by smog-filled cities. Every town had countless rows of empty apartment blocks and office buildings. China's main cities are massively overpopulated, so the government is expanding the other cities with this mass construction, waiting for the population to arrive.
Halfway point. Langzhou.
This is not
fresh air. This is polluted air.
Let's go.
for a tour of the train.
This is where you prepare your dinner.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That's what we're dealing with. Just
Good job you can't smell it here, 'cause it's disgusting.
some more carriages, just the same as ours.
Yep.
Guard. This is luxury accommodation. So the soft seats. You've got doors, which is nice. It's the chef's doing dinner. Quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice.
Now we're really moving into, I guess, the non-sleeping shares. I get the impression they don't see people like us very often.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. That looks like that's that. So, the end. Okay, Karl, so what's going on here?
Trying to find my cookies.
Oh, dramatic times on the train.
Yeah.
He's down there, he's rummaging around. Has he seen anything yet? It's still pretty dramatic. Damn it. Okay, well,
Cookie.
that could have gone better.
Find your raisins.
A lot of tracks up to the north.
Yay!
Unbelievable. This woman accused us of hiding her raisins. She's full of lies and deceit. She keeps trying to fill me up as well. It's very weird.
Just between the legs.
where it counts.
As the evening drew in, we left the cities behind and began gaining altitude.
What altitude we at, Mark?
3541 meters.
42. Oh, and here's the food cart.
Once the sun went down and there was no view to look at, that's when the alcohol came out.
We got a little party going on the train here.
Hello.
Hey.
我也接触过很多的外国朋友。
He also knows a lot of foreigners.
I bet you probably meet a lot of foreigners on this train. Do you meet lots of people from the UK?
I haven't even been
英国人都有。
Yeah, that would make sense.
哎，很好，很好。
He's saying this is the nice thing about Chinese people. He's saying, I should have bought more now. So it's all shit.
He's given us some traditional Chinese snacks, and I've offered him some chocolate chip cookies and Pringles. Just sharing culture, really. East meets West. What's it?
Well, this guy's got the vodka.
Yeah, we got the vodka. This is nearly over, by the way. Well, we're all out. We're all out. Oh! Now, this is courtesy of Kevin over there. Oh, it's got a dead thing. Yeah. No dead thing.
More.
Not that small. Jesus.
Good. Go on, you pussy. They look they want to get involved. Come join the party. Annie.
My name is Annie.
Ah, good. See? This is Chris.
Hi. You may remember me. Peter. Yes, I remember Peter. And what was your name?
My name is Young.
Jan. Yes. We're getting somewhere here. Whee!
The drinking went on well into the night as the train climbed up over 5,000 meters.
This is the highest railway in the world. Surprisingly few peaks. I guess because we're just on top of the mountain. I'm so tired, I look like I've been punched in the face. How high are we?
4898.
480. How's Christopher?
I'm alright, to be honest. I slept alright last night.
Did you?
Didn't have any problems.
That's
Did you?
very good.
Did you not sleep?
I did. I wake up a few times. I got a couple of hours.
Good.
We were on the final stretch to Lhasa, and as the morning went on, the scenery just got better and better.
You want to go on the roof of the train? Yeah. Why do you want to go on the roof?
Because it's fun. Just take better photos, you can look at the scenery better.
Probably the last stop before Lhasa, 4,513 meters up. Finally
free. We made it. We're off the train. Oh.
Welcome to Tibet.
QDG.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to Tibet.
QDG.
Yeah, welcome.
Got it down. We've arrived at a hotel and it's absolutely amazing. Complete contrast to being on the train. Just check out our room. Now, here, beautiful bed, TV, a fridge, a TV, and then, hang on a minute. That's
a little awkward.
That's the bathroom, and I can see straight through to it.
So yeah, that's well, we're good friends. It's nothing you haven't seen before.
It is actually. I've not seen you do a shit before, Chris.
At 3,700 meters above sea level, Lhasa is one of the highest cities in the world. We'll have 4 nights here to explore the sights in and around the city, and shortly after checking in, we went for a walk around the town.
When we got off the train, we went to the new part of the town, which just looks like any other Chinese town. It's all being constructed and it looks a bit shit. But luckily we're staying in the old part of town, so this is right on the doorstep.
It feels like a little bit sort of like an authentic Tibet. I haven't really got my head around it yet, but everywhere you look is an amazingly photographic shot. So
that's kind of what I hope for, just like markets, tons of tiny stores, people beeping you all the time. And yeah, I really like it. I want to explore more and more and more, really. So, good start.
One thing we did notice was the cameras filming our every move, plus some stores enlisted some high-level security. Our first full day in Tibet began with guided tours of the monasteries.
What's the name of this monastery, guys?
Tibet Monastery.
Yeah?
Sorry, I was late this morning.
Why were you late this morning?
Drepung Monastery is the largest monastery in Tibet and was a centre for academic study with 4 different colleges. Before the Cultural Revolution, it was home to as many as 10,000 monks, but now only 300 remain.
Is this courtyard, this is where they live, or?
Yeah, we are the monks.
Cool.
these are their homes here.
Yeah, like domes.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Only takes 25 minutes to heat up.
It's probably
Maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
quicker than my hob.
Yeah.
You don't use this anymore, right?
No.
Surrounding every monastery were these prayer wheels. They contain scripture, and by spinning them, it has the same merit as reading and reciting prayers.
You couldn't understand the language. You read the book like this, it's effectively like cheating it, and nobody understood Tibetan, so they wanted to practice a religion, so they'd come up here and they'd spin these things. This one's done by the water, and that kind of counts as reading it.
I now know everything. I'm enlightened.
As we made our way inside, we had to pay a small donation to take pictures. The good news is the money went straight to the monastery, unlike the entrance fee, which went to the Chinese government.
Monks texting in between sessions. What's the significance of lighting these and stuff? Is it prayers they're doing, or?
Because we strong believe, one day we are dead.
Yeah.
But we are spirit, go everywhere. Sometimes it's the dark. Then all your life you are putting some butter in the candle.
Yeah.
Then your spirit they have the little bit light. They show you the good road.
Oh, cool.
So we believe that is for the dead spirit. Yeah.
That afternoon, we visited Sera Monastery, and like Drepung, it was another one of the great university monasteries of Tibet. It suffered severe damage during a cultural revolution, and once again, out of the few thousand monks that used to live here, only 300 remain.
Now inside we can see the monk cross. So now it's here we can see that not many monks. Yeah. Before, all monk. Yeah.
What's the main function of this room? What do they mainly use this room for?
Before every morning, the monks meeting here to chanting. But now, just the celebration, special times.
Does it remind you of Moria?
A little bit.
We went outside to the courtyard where we got to see the monks having their philosophical debates.
some kind of method to the madness, but I don't know what it is yet. Chris knows.
They're debating the value of wisdom, and he's actually asking questions. He's not teaching. He's asking
Is that how they ask a question, by clapping?
Yeah.
Okay.
That means you have to answer my question.
Okay. It's kind of like watching the sport, and they seem to be getting pretty tired doing it, but they seem to be loving it as well. It's fascinating to watch anyway, even if you can't understand what they're saying.
That evening we went out for dinner at somewhere a little different to your average restaurant.
We thought we were coming out to a restaurant which was very Tibetan, but we've actually not only come out to not a restaurant, but this is someone's home where they're going to do our laundry, and they're just going to cook some food for us. So we're pretty excited. Hello.
This family were going to cook us a traditional Tibetan menu and serve it to us in their living room. And one of the drinks we tried was yak butter tea.
What you got there, Chris?
This is butter tea, and we had some earlier that was delicious. So I'm looking forward to drinking this cup.
Don't sound too convinced there.
Very ill yesterday, and I'm sure this will be great for my stomach.
Get out of the way.
That's salty. That's very salty.
Butter tea. Straight from Tibet. It's hot.
And buttery.
Yeah. Just had the most amazing family dinner.
Yeah.
Good spot, man. Good work.
In the morning we went to Jokang Temple in the centre of the old town. Jokang is the most sacred and important temple in Tibet, and people from all over Tibet come here on a once-in-a-lifetime pilgrimage.
These people spend all day, every day doing this praying. That's why they got supplies like a packed lunch.
Because of the importance of the site, we could really feel the police and military presence here. I even managed to sneak a shot of the military training on a rooftop opposite the temple. We then joined the hundreds of Buddhists doing a kora in the surrounding courtyard. A kora is a circumambulation of a sacred site.
Pretty much every temple you'll see Buddhists doing laps around it, and it kind of supposed to bring him good luck and all that kind of thing. Well, they do 3 laps, not just one, they do 3. I think we're just going to do 1, but the reason they do 3 is 1 is for Buddha, 1 is for his teachings, and 1 is for his followers. Because if you want to truly become a Buddhist, you have to truly believe in Buddha, truly believe in all his teachings, and truly believe his followers, i.e. the monks and all them. So they have those 3 things to believe in, and that's why they do the 3 laps. So, knowledge.
Stuff. That afternoon we went to the thing I've been most looking forward to seeing in Tibet, the Potala Palace.
This is the main attraction, Potala Palace. Now, my first knowledge of Tibet, first ever known of Tibet's existence, came from the film 7 Years of Tibet, which I saw when I was 13, and made quite a lasting impression, but I never, when I was 13, never even contemplated or dreamed of going here. But still, this palace features so prominently in the film that whenever I think of Tibet, I think of this palace, plus Brad Pitt. So it's pretty amazing to actually be here and have a look around. But it's just incredible, absolutely incredible.
The Potala Palace was the chief residence of the Dalai Lama till the 14th Dalai Lama fled to India during the 1959 Tibetan uprising.
Good palace. This makes Buckhouse look stupid, doesn't it?
Yep.
It's enormous. I really hoped it would be impressive. It doesn't disappoint.
The palace was built in 1645, expanding upon a much smaller palace built there in the 7th century.
The 7th century Potala Palace design is just only in the middle. It's a small palace. And about 350 years ago, the number 5 Dalai Lama lived in Potala Palace. Then we are building again palace. So now it's big palace. Yeah.
The military and police living here now.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. I'm sure that's nice and tense.
Yeah. Just saying, it used to be only monks living in here, now it's monks, military and police.
And they all get on really well.
Yeah, nice cocktail of people. Got a long way to climb up. this altitude. It's bloody hard work going up these steps. Are we at altitude, man?
3,784. Facts. There's always a yellow banner at one of the windows for any of the palaces that are anything to do with Buddhism, and when there is, you know that it's either the Dalai Lama's room or the Benji Lama's room. Of course, he hasn't been there for a while.
Left stairs for going up, right stairs for going down, middle stairs for the Dalai Lama. I asked her if you slipped to the 20 if you could do the middle one. He said no.
Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to film anything inside the palace. But trust me, it was great.
I love it, really do. It's absolutely spectacular. It's an incredible building, but just to finally be here and see it, it's unbelievable.
After having 4 nights to acclimatise in the capital, it was time to head even higher up into the Himalayas. Our police escort joined us on our bus, and a security camera was going to be filming our every move as we made our way towards Everest.
This is the Gambala Pass. We're at nearly 4,800 meters high, and down there is the Turquoise Lake. See if you can figure out why it's called the Turquoise Lake. Probably named by some Australians because they name everything, kind of say what you see. And just here we've got just a few prayer flags. That was bloody tiring walking up from the bus to here. Jesus. Where's Chris? We're at 5,100 meters, so that tiny 2-minute stroll is taking it out of me completely.
Weaving our way through the mountains, the excitement was building as we were just a couple of days away from Mt Everest. However, there was just one slight problem.
Right, so one of my biggest fears for this trip, or biggest concerns, was altitude sickness, because we're going to be going up over 5,000 meters, and luckily I've been fine so far. We've been up to 5,000 and I've actually been alright. However, Chris has suffered really badly from it. We were in Lhasa and he was having headaches and he wasn't sleeping and stuff, and then just today he was sleepy, he was getting delirious, and he was looking pale, and so we had to give him some oxygen and stuff, and then luckily we were going straight down to the town. We're now at 3,900 meters, but we had to take him to the hospital. He was in that bad a condition, and he could barely walk. We didn't really know what was going on, and everyone was getting pretty worried, and then took him to the hospital, and it turned out that his lungs had been filling with fluid, which means you don't get enough oxygen in. So they put him on the oxygen in the hospital, and now he's stable. But the main thing we need to do is get him to lower altitude.
I've got, I think, a pulmonary edema. It's basically loads of fluid in the lungs, and I kind of need that space for what little oxygen there is in the air.
Luckily, in our group, we've got like 4 doctors, and so they've been a massive help, because if it was just me and Chris travelling, I might have thought, oh, he's a bit ill, you'll be able to shake it off, but they were going, no, there's something serious going on here.
I remember them taking my blood oxygen level, but seeing Kevin's face when he as a surgeon looked at it and thought, well, that ain't right, can't possibly be that.
You know, a safe level is 90 for oxygen level, he was at 50.
Altitude sickness sucks.
What's happened is we've put him in an ambulance to go to the next town, Shigatse, where we'll be tomorrow, because they've got a much better hospital there.
Chris will spend the night at the hospital in Shigatse, and when the tour group arrives there tomorrow, we'll figure out a way to get him to lower altitude.
Well, it's morning here in Gansi, and Chris would have spent his first night in hospital last night, so hopefully it wasn't too rough for him. This morning we're going to do a tour around the fort in this town, which feels a bit weird to go and do something touristy whilst Chris is stuck in hospital. There's more dogs than people in this little town.
hospital I'm in now is one that they moved me to overnight, and is horrible by comparison. I took a quick photo of the floor with blood all over it, and if I thought I'd seen bad toilets on the train, I can't believe that they're worse in a hospital. It's just incredible.
Just using the driver's phone to ring Chris to get in touch, see how he's getting on.
But yeah, this hospital's just a bit difficult. I don't understand what anybody's saying. Yeah, she didn't like that. I don't like her. I don't feel any pain. I don't feel bad. It's just I can't breathe without oxygen going into my nose. The tour is on its way to catch up with me now, and we'll see what happens.
Our guides have come up with a plan to get Chris to a lower altitude. Although we're surrounded by high mountain passes, Chris and I can take an ambulance along a flat road that follows the river back to Lhasa, and from there we can fly out to Kathmandu, where Chris will be at a safe altitude.
If we can get you to Kathmandu as soon as possible, so as long as we don't have to do too much waiting around, and then just chill in Kathmandu, make sure you're all better, and then from there just do day activities like whitewater rafting and rock climbing, and have like a really action-packed week. I mean, there's loads to look forward to, so it's going to be good. Cool. All right, take care, buddy. See ya. Bye-bye.
After a long morning where we had a couple of hours of driving, as well as a tour of a local family's house, we finally arrived in Shigatse, where I could catch up with Chris.
Found Chris. Giant tank of oxygen. Well, you seem like yourself again. You seem like...
I mean, I only realise now how far out of who I was. Yesterday, I've got like snatches of what I can remember of the day, but it's much better now. Yeah.
In the evening, our group came to visit Chris in the hospital.
It's Chris's fan club.
Maybe you can just stand up with him.
Yeah, do a dance, maybe.
Do a little dance for him.
It's the last chance to see them before Kathmandu, because in the morning, they'll be continuing on to Mount Everest, whilst we head back to Lhasa.
This is our luxury limo to take us to our next 5-star accommodation back in Lhasa. But yeah, no, it's good to be on the move again, and I feel a lot better. So
good.
We'll see. And this is nice. This is a good ambulance. Right?
Yeah.
I've never been anywhere more dirty than that hospital, and I was treated reasonably well by people who didn't understand a word of what I was saying in most cases. So I'm really thankful for the people there. But you can't help but think that there's got to be a way of keeping these places a bit cleaner or something. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't rush back.
Because we had the police guy escort for the whole trip, which we were a bit suspicious of, and it was China putting his foot down. But when we got the cab to the hospital in Shigatse, he came along for some reason, but he paid for it. And then when we went back, he sort of insisted on paying. It was really, really nice of him. And makes you realise he's just a kid. He's just doing his job.
That's it. I mean, like, it's a corrupt system, not a corrupt people, isn't it?
Yeah, corrupt system, very, very good. Yeah, it's a corrupt system, not a corrupt people. And the other thing to note was just how much the group sort of rallied around and helped out. I mean, people like Yiki and Bettina and Claire and Patricia were great, but Kevin and Wendy just went the extra mile. They were just so helpful. I don't know how we would have done it without them. Really, really don't.
I mean, Kevin was fantastic. He talked to all the doctors. He worked out what was going on. Really, without him, I'd have been in all sorts of trouble. So I can't thank him enough. And then when Wendy got there as well, she really helped out massively when it came to like just sort of explaining things to me. And
that's going to fall off the first time he goes around a corner. He needs it probably between his knees so he can hold it.
It's just amazing when there are people on a tour like this, almost strangers. I've known them for a week, who've done so much for me and really looked after me. It's just really humbling.
They were so helpful. It's the kind of people sort of maintain your faith in humanity kind of thing, because they were so generous with their time. Yeah, we'll be buying them lots of beers in Kathmandu, and if they don't want them, we'll drink them. But the offer's there anyway. So now we've just got to sit in a smoke-filled ambulance until we get to Lhasa.
He was texting behind you a second ago.
Texting and smoking, but he's got the lights on, so it's fine. Continuing our hospital tour of Tibet. This is hospital number 3. We started with a shed, and then we went to like an abandoned prison covered in blood, and now we're in like a real hospital. It actually smells sterile as well, instead of smelling of shit. So
I think this is going to be more comfortable than your hotel.
Yeah, the Yak Hotel.
Nice. Yeah.
Chris is going between 96 to 100 in oxygen, which is better than 53.
Yeah.
The next morning, we'll be flying out to Kathmandu.
So this is Kathmandu. It's so exotic.
The silver lining is we'll have bought ourselves some extra time to enjoy Nepal. However, because we've left our tour, it means we'll be missing out on Mount Everest.
The main highlight, the main reason for doing this trip for Chris was Mount Everest.
And the idea of going to Everest just blew my mind.
And he's just worried. Instead of worried about like his health, he's worried about missing Mount Everest. And I said to him, well, don't worry, we can garden pull for a week and a half and have a great time. Then at the end, hopefully try and do like a helicopter tour to Mount Everest, which will be expensive, but means we still get to do it.
I've seen the map and we don't know where we are.
And then hopefully in that last week we'll be able to get a trip up to Everest afterwards. Don't know.